Whoa, Billy Ho here. I couldn't resist that music. I don't know what made me think of it, but I guess I was thinking about 1980s breakdancing when I first busted out my pop blocking skills or whatever. But that's Herbie Hancock, Rocket from Future Shock, changed the world back in the day, back when I was a youngster. But Rocket Mortgage, key it up, baby. Let's go. Here we go. Rocket Mortgage Classic. We're heading over to Detroit Rock City, baby. It is Detroit Golf Club, and we're going to get into it right now. Let's go. Okay, Detroit Golf Club is a 7,300 yard, 7370 par 72 Donald Russ designed. And it's kind of gotten the reputation as a bomber's paradise because I guess because the fairways and greens are tree lined, but they're wide, 34 yards on average, which is a pretty close to where we're at Travelers, and you can see how easy it is to hit fairways here. So basically, what we have is bent poa mixed grass for the fairways and the greens, and then they have a 4-inch rough, which is, I believe, bluegrass. It's not overly penal. Bryson won this tournament. Bryson DeChambeau a couple years ago, just bombing and gouging. You know, you just hit it as far as you possibly can, then go find it, hit your next shot, knock it on the green, 2-putt, 1-putt. Par fives are easy, home in 2 on all of them, probably. It's been it's been a bit of a dry spring from what I read. So the course will play firmer and faster. And I believe we're a few weeks earlier than they played it last year. I know they usually try to schedule it around the 4th of July, but I think last year they played it later on in July because of the reworking of the schedule and whatnot. So there we are with that. Greens are smallish, but they're about the same size, 5,100 square feet. Same size as they are at Travelers here. So they run about 12 on the stimp, which is average. Like I said, the par fives are easy. The fourth hole is 620 yards. That one only has a 28% birdie rate, but the other 3 par fives are about 45 to 50%, and they have a really high eagle clip. So then you add in another half a dozen par fours that are right for the pickings, including the first hole, which is kind of like the handshake hole. To add more scoring to the course, holes 5 and 15 are both short-ish par threes between 150 and 175. So guys are just going to be knocking them stiff. So basically, grip it and rip it off the tee. So bombers will have some advantage. But not totally. Like I said, dry spring in Detroit means it's extra firm, so run out on drives. So that's going to even the playing field for a lot of these short guys. The longer hitters might get those tough in between shots like the 40-yarders, where the shorter hitters are going to have those beautiful 80 to 100 wedges. So we're going to see. Basically, what you need to do is make sure you keep the ball below the hole because the greens are not exactly even. You need to be really, really good with your short wedges. Like I said, 100 yards, 125 yards out. So you're talking about gap wedges and lob wedges. Greens and regulation are higher here. So it's because you're hitting so many wedges. So proximity is better, obvious reasons. So we need to find short wedge players that can dial it in, guys who are decent. You don't have to be super accurate, but we want guys that are fairly long. But I want guys that just mash par fives, that just crush them, that they're putting for eagle more times than the other guys. Like your Cam Davises of the world. He's always really good at par fives. Sung J M, I believe, is in the tournament. So we're going to confirm that right now because I hate to lead you guys down the wrong path here, but we're going to find Sung J. There he is. So he is in the field. I knew he was. I just wanted to double check. So anyway, greens are undulating, so being below the hole gives you a better chance to make birdie. Uphill putts, obviously, give you a chance to make birdie. So as we get into players, What I want to do, well, we got some top ranked players. We got your Max Homa, defending champ Tony Finau. This is when he won back to back tournaments last year. So expect Tony to be in dominant form again. I don't see why you couldn't take that bet, that repeat champion bet that a lot of books offer, where you get a boost in odds. You might get 30-1 for repeat champion Tony Finau, something like that. I would pull the trigger on that immediately. Justin Thomas is in the field, and he's finally shown some resurgence. I don't know. They talk about this aim point golf or putting technique that's all the rage now. And evidently JT's picked it up. And so maybe he's, either it's placebo effect and now he's suddenly got confidence, or it really is something technically that he has caught his eye. Either way, if he's putting better, he's putting better. He's a definite threat to win this golf tournament if he's putting better, because his driver might get a little wonky, but you don't need to be super accurate. So he could just dial in wedges all day. And if he's making putts, that's pretty scary. So anyway, more guys: Colin Morikawa, Ricky Fowler, Keegan Bradley up there at the top. Like I mentioned, Cam Davis, he's not going to go overlooked, since he did win this tournament a couple years ago, and he putts well on bent. He dominates par fives, like I said, high eagle rate on par fives, DraftKings scoring. So obviously people are gonna be excited about him because he shot 63 on Sunday at Travelers, and he plays Pete Dye short courses pretty well for some reason, but he won this tournament, and he can mash it and tear up par fives. So I don't see any problem with him. Now, Ricky Fowler, I would say just keep playing Ricky Fowler till he wins, because it seems like it's coming. I mean, he may not get there this week at Travelers, but there's this course he's got 3 straight made cuts on, and he's played well. So this could be the week. A little bit weaker field, not as many top players. So this is a place he could probably pick a win off. Funny story: he was $7,300 last year on DraftKings. Not going to be 7,300 this week. He's probably going to be close to 10K or 9,700. He might be 10.5. I don't know. I didn't go through all the players, but we do have a pretty decent amount of up top type guys like Finau and Thomas is going to get a bump. He's not going to. Justin Thomas is not going to be sub 9K either. Thomas will probably be 9,700. So I could definitely see Ricky being over 10K. So Ludwig Aberg is looking good so far in his kickoff to his pro career. He's playing pretty well at the Travelers. I think he'd have no problem doing what he does at this course. And being a debutant at this course, I don't think it's a big deal either, because they just inaugurated the tournament in 2019. So the entire top 10 in 2019 was their first time playing it. So, Nate Lashley won in his first time playing it. And Nate Lashley's not one to be a big birdie fest guy, but he can make birdies in bunches, and he will be in the field. He's old school champ. So another guy, Sam Bennett, has been getting a lot of press. Benny On, him and Benny On both missed the cut at Travelers, but I think they're better fits for this course. So I'm gonna keep my eye on Benny On and maybe do a deeper dive into why he missed the cut last week, and maybe if there's any struggles, like maybe is that putter starting to fail him again? Because if he starts losing the putter, he might not be as good a play as we think. So anyway, we got the all flop lag team, is what a lot of people call flop lag, when a player previously misses a cut and it's the lag effect. People won't play them, so they flopped last week, whatever. But guys that missed the cut last week, or maybe cuts recently that maybe need to turn it around, and this is going to be a good spot for them. So the aforementioned Colin Morikawa might lead the way here, because that was a terrible miscut at Travelers. He came out and played awful Thursday. I believe he shot 73 or something, 70, 73, 74. But he shot 7 under on Friday and missed the cut on the number. So he was +4, so he shot 74. So that was terrible. But -7 just added to the tilt for me, because he cost me a lot of money by missing the cut. But them's the breaks. But good for him. No around the green required. And he does his best work on bent greens. So he's never played here, but like I just said, I don't think this is the type of course where course history matters. It's just a straight in front of you, whack it out there and play some golf course, you know. So I feel pretty good about his chances. I don't know if he's quite the guy to go low, but he did win that workday tournament a couple of years ago at Memorial, or where they hold Memorial, Muirfield Village, when they made the course like super easy and it was like 27 under. So Colin Morikawa, if he can putt, he'll get there. Joseph Bramlett missed the cut on the number of Travelers, so he should go undervalued this week. And this looks like a course he could actually dominate, but for some reason he's missed 3 cuts in 3 tries. I don't know why, but he's a long off the tee and he usually hits his irons pretty well. But he's had a resurgence this year where he's been a lot more consistent. So maybe he'll be in there for a good fit at a good low owned value. Hayden Buckley struggled as of late. He's missed 4 straight cuts coming in. But as good as he is off the tee, long and straight, this could be the right spot for him. He had a T24 here last year in his first time playing. His short game has been atrocious. So good for him. This course does not demand around the green game. So let's take a quick look at Mr. Buckley. Okay, Hayden Buckley. This is last year's results. He was 6,900. Gained a ton off the tee. You can see he was pretty decent on half a stroke on approach. But around the green was the only place he lost. So he was a solid scorer for 6,900. That's pretty good. Now, if you go look at his recent results, not so good. For this, he's missed the cut this week at Travelers too. So look, that's just terrible around the green play. Almost pushing 4 strokes around, and then you add in 3.5 and almost 2.5, and that short game, that's atrocious. That's not going to get it done for Mr. Buckley. But good news for him is the around the green game is not going to be as prevalent at this golf course, so he should be in pretty good shape. Another guy who's missing a ton of cuts is one Troy Merritt. This dude seriously has not made a cut that didn't require a partner since the Sony Open in January. He made the one cut T13 at Zurich on the team event, and his off the tee game has been absolute bunk lately. So I don't know what's happened with Mr. Merritt. He's usually a pretty good competitor, usually good with the irons. So it's kind of hard to see. But then you go click, and if you're a course history guy, he's lights out here. T8, T2, T14 in 3 years, killing it. And I always said Troy Merritt, you bring him out in 4th of July when it's hot. So he might be one to consider, and nobody will play him next week. So anyway, wrapping things up, anybody could pop at this tournament. That's pretty much the story. You could get a top 5 out of just about anybody. I don't know that it won't be a big name or bigger name that wins, like a Ricky Fowler or somebody, or Tony Finau repeats. But I think there'll be some guys down the line in the 6K range that we're going to be playing a lot of. So until the next video, I appreciate you watching. Subscribe, smash like. See you soon.